Pokemon Anime's timeskip era continues with some insane new reveals. From the return of the Black Rayquaza, a brand new traveling companion, and the reveal of a new battle gimmick, this series just keeps getting better. Here's what's happening in Pokemon Horizons Mega Voltage. Episode 94, The Pokémon Center Lady. We open with a look at what Mollie has been up to since the Rising Voltacklers disbanded. She's been working at her family's Pokemon Center, officially tying her to Nurse Joy. It's something the series has hinted at, and while it was obvious, it's still satisfying to see it confirmed. She's part of the Nurse Joy family. Despite working a regular day job, Mollie still makes time to help wild Pokemon, which fits her character perfectly. Coincidentally, Liko Roy happen to be nearby, and investigate reports of mass Pokemon poisonings, which have overwhelmed the Pokemon Center. Suspecting Laquium is involved, they reunite with Mollie and dig deeper. The first half of the episode is really strong, giving us a deeper look at another member of the Rising Voltacklers post-time skip. We even get a flashback to when Murdoch decided to disband the team. It's a somber moment. Without Freed and the team's reputation in ruins thanks to the explorers, Murdoch disbands the group to protect the younger members and let them live a normal life. It's heavy, but it contrasts well by Liko and Roy standing proud of their past, determined to clear their names and rebuild. That resolve ties perfectly into the comeback story this arc is telling. The real conflict kicks in when a wild Vileplume, one that Mollie knows is gentle, begins poisoning Pokemon under the influence of the Laquium signs. Meowscarada and Crocodile struggle against his powered-up poison attacks, so Lucario steps in. At first, I was a bit worried that it was just gonna be another case of Lucario hogging the spotlight. We've seen that before. But thankfully, Effect Spore paralyzes it, nerfing it for the rest of the fight. That's when Liko's Hatchrim steps up, and it's awesome. With Mollie here, it makes perfect thematic sense for the healer of Liko's team to shine again. Hatchrim doesn't win with brute force either. With the support of the group, Liko gets the opening to Terrastalize, her first time Terrastalizing someone other than Meowscarada. But the true one comes from when Hatchrim senses Vileplume's pain and learns Healing Wish to heal it. Again, this reinforces that Laquium affected Pokemon are victims, not villains. Overall, this was a solid reintroduction for Mollie and sets the stage for the team to slowly come back together. Liko and Roy asks Mollie to join them, but she says she'll consider it if they have a flying ship again. Which honestly is fair, considering she's not about to quit her day job just to run around and heal wild Pokemon. At least with Freed, she had a paycheck. These kids are unemployed. The episode ends with Liko and Roy continuing their search for the source of the Laquium signs, only to stumble upon an Exceed facility, unlocking some more plot progression. This episode's rating is a 7 out of 10. Episode 95, The Strong Sphere. Thanks to Dot's intel, Liko and Roy discover that the building they spotted is an Exceed testing facility, where they're promoting something called the Strong Sphere. At the facility, we get the return of Uruto, who's acting strange. And let me save you the trouble, we just find out that he's car sick. That's it, not some dramatic twist. We also get the return of Team Udat, who's here to try the Strong Sphere in hopes of finally getting stronger. It's funny because canonically, she actually sucks. This lines up with how she failed the Terrastal course back in Paldea, making for some nice continuity. During her test battle, Swanna one-shots an Electivire with the Strong Sphere's power. Liko notes that its effects are very similar to the Laquium Sphere Spinel used, basically confirming that Exceed is still using Laquium in their tech. What I really like about this episode is how it reintroduces the explorers in their new role as public figures. Coral and Sidine arrive to demonstrate the Strong Sphere, and after spotting Liko and Roy, they call them out for a battle. When Liko talks back to Coral, the crowd actually goes against her, cheering for the explorers instead. It's crazy how much the public has been manipulated into seeing them as heroes. The battle starts off in Liko and Roy's favor, showing their post-time skip growth, but once Coral and Sidine activate the Strong Sphere, everything shifts. I like how this new power-up is being framed like another battle gimmick like Mega Evolution, Z-Move, or Terrastalization. And no, I don't think this is teasing Gen 10. Despite its power, the side effects of Laquium are clear, and it's hurting the Pokemon. But the explorers don't care. Liko and Roy try to respond by Terrastalizing, only for Sidine to knock out their Pokemon before they even get the chance. This was hilarious, reminded me of how Android 17 interrupted Ribrianne's transformation, breaking the unwritten anime rule, don't interrupt transformations. After winning, Coral and Sidine keep attacking Liko and Roy's fainted Pokemon, and no one in the crowd questions this? Like, how are y'all still cheering for these psychopaths? Thankfully, Uruto steps up, like a true Chad, and destroys the Strong Sphere, proving he doesn't need it to win. Coral loses it as usual and tries to blow everything up, but Chell steps in and calmly puts up a wall to stop the fight. In the end, the explorers let the group escape to maintain their public image. So overall, this episode reintroduces the new version of the explorers really well. Seeing how the public supports them makes it way harder for the heroes to push back. Thankfully, Uruto officially joins the team now, and his chaotic energy adds a fun dynamic. especially with his Sableye trying to eat Pogogo and the subtleties that Uruto might like Liko. Curious to see how that plays out. The episode ends with Pogogo pointing towards a mountain, so I guess that's where we're headed to next. This episode's rating is a 7 out of 10. Episode 96. Clash, the Dragon Speed Gang. Dot's intel pulls through once again, as we learn that the mountain Pogogo is pointing to is near Blackthorn City, home of the Dragon Clan, where a year ago a Black Rayquaza was reportedly spotted there. Since it's late, the group camps out for the night, and that's when Uruto gets some hilarious moments. Because Roy constantly avoids him, Uruto assumes that this is just another attempt to ditch him, so he tries to get a head start, only to get lost and stumble back to the group anyway. Watching him lose his cool in front of Liko is hilarious. Bro has zero riz. During their talk, we learn that Uruto wants to catch Rayquaza to earn someone's approval, and he holds a Dusk Ball while saying it. Maybe it's hinting at a rare Pokemon? Or maybe that's just Sableye's Pokeball, I don't know. Either way, I like that we're getting some deeper layers to his character. He tries to act all aloof and say that he's not hungry, then immediately devours the group's breakfast when they're asleep. It's a funny moment, but it's also great to allow Roy to remind him that being a part of the team means that he has to think of others. Later, they learn about a dragon bike gang, known for their bad behavior. When the group confronts them, they get defensive at the mention of Rayquaza, triggering a battle. The gang's outfits are a cool nod to Lance, not directly name-dropping him, but a fun reference that makes for solid world building. It's revealed that the gang is actually a group of girls, which completely throws Uruto off his game and gets him clobbered. This dude cannot function around women apparently. It's comedic gold every time. During this exchange, we're introduced to their rival, Team Wiggle, which is just this one creepy dude with serpent Pokemon. He's caught stealing these Dratini eggs and making out with this one Dratini. Okay, that's a little weird. And while the group tries to stop him, Uruto's recklessness makes things worse. Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of this Wiggle guy. He was more annoying than threatening, but I like that this allows Liko to put Uruto in check. She tells him that he'll never reach his goal if he doesn't get serious. It's a great moment of growth, and with Roy's help, Uruto finally pulls through and stops the thief. The Dragon Gang eventually leads them to the Dragon Shrine, where Black Rayquaza is resting. Wow, I did not expect to see it this soon again, but here we are. It's recovering from the battle at Laquium. Turns out that the Bike Gang spread bad rumors about themselves to keep people away from the shrine to protect Rayquaza. Uruto tells Rayquaza to regain its strength, saying he doesn't want a weak Rayquaza. It's played as him trying to act all cool, but it really shows his growth. If this were earlier in the episode, he would have jumped in recklessly and tried to catch it right now, but instead he's showing restraint and respect. With Rayquaza's location confirmed, the group is now more motivated than ever to bring the Rising Voltaglers back together, and Dot suggests meeting in Paldea to reunite with Murdoch. Like the Mollie episode, this felt like another setup, showing us where the characters are and moving the pieces into place. It's clear Uruto was the main focus though. He got some development, and I'm excited to see how this pays off in the future. This episode's rating is a 6 out of 10. Episode 97. The Mischievous Stunfisk's Lovely Smile? We finally get our first true post-time skip Dot-focused episode. This one follows her detour to Lavincia, after receiving a request from Iono, who's noticed strange Pokemon behavior in the area. Apparently a speeding Stunfisk has been attacking random Pokemon and leaving behind traces of Laquium signs. Now, although it was great to see Iono again, unfortunately she's been busy streaming and doesn't really play a big role here. The good news though is that this gives Dot the full spotlight. Up till now, Dot's just been behind the screen, so it was refreshing to see her step up in battle again. It's revealed that the rampaging Stunfisk actually belongs to a cosplayer streamer, whose gimmick is taking photos of surprised people and Pokemon. Thanks to the Strong Sphere, Stunfisk has only gotten worse, making it a perfect setup for Dot to experience what Liko and Roy have been dealing with, battling Pokemon under the influence of Laquium. Dot starts off strong. Her Quacks will easily handle Stunfisk at first, but once the Strong Sphere is activated, things shift dramatically. We've already seen this before, but I gotta highlight how cool Laquium boosted moves look. The battle does a great job at showcasing how massive the power-up is. The same Stunfisk that got wiped earlier suddenly wrecks Quaxwell and pushes Tinkatuff to the brink. Dot pulls through though, and my favorite part is watching Tinkatuff deflect Electro Web with Brutal Swing and then learning Metal Claw to break through it. That was so sick. It's a fitting moment too because we finally see Dot terrestrialize Tinkatuff, revealing its Steel Terra type. I guess it's a good thing she finally learned the Steel type move, am I right? The battle climaxes with Dot dominating, but what really stood out is that the cosplayer realizes on his own how out of control his Pokemon has become. Instead of Dot having to lecture him, he decides himself not to use the Strong Sphere anymore. That was a great touch. It shows the influence of Laquium without the need for moral preaching. As I've been saying, this has been a solid Dot-focused episode that gave her direct experience with Laquium in the Strong Sphere, setting her up perfectly as the group prepares to reunite. So now it's on to Cortundo. Our main squad is almost back together. This episode's rating is a 7 out of 10.